Independent music has been around for decades in some form or another. During the 40s and 50s, independent labels like King Records, Sun Records, and Stax brought jazz, R&B, and rock and roll to the masses when major labels refused to do so. In the 70s, major acts like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and the Grateful Dead made their own labels to wrest control from the record companies. In this era, independent and DIY acts began to emerge from the woodwork, but it wasn't until the late 1980s, 1988 to be precise, that the modern conception of an indie band, a sort of lo-fi, gentle sound with odd lyrics and eccentric musicians, began to take shape in Boston. Quote, Ed's redeeming qualities was the prototype for the little indie band that could, read a Boston Globe article from January 21st, 2011. The group was on the rise in the American alternative scene in the late 80s, alongside acts like Nirvana and Pixies. In fact, it was Pixies bassist Kim Deal who took a shine to the group and their music. Quote, they were really good at what they were doing, but there was a really cool amateur quality that was truly amateur. They were fun, too, sort of like the Pogues, but with more teeth, said Deal. When Pixies went on hiatus in 1993, Deal put her full focus into her other band, The Breeders, whose second studio album, Last Splash, saw great commercial success, putting the spotlight on not only the band's music, but, by way of a charming cover included on the album, Ed's Redeeming Qualities music as well. Not just a cover, the Breeders' version of the song featured the violin work of Carrie Bradley, original member of Ed's Redeeming Qualities. Unfortunately, not all of Ed's Redeeming Qualities got to see their song receive the mainstream exposure it deserved. One half of the duo that had originally written the track, Dom Leone, had passed away from cancer 4 years prior in 1989, 1 year after the band's creation. Nowadays, you can't throw a stone without hitting an indie band or a song or artist that someone has sloppily described as indie, and in that landscape, Ed's Redeeming Qualities remains a small piece of the scenery, like a shadow beneath a streetlight. That's right, we're talking Drivin' on 9 by Ed's Redeeming Qualities on Cover Me, Summer Road Trip.
Driving on 9, you could be a shadow neath the streetlight behind my home.
That's right, it's Cover Me, Summer Road Trip, the only podcast that compares famous driving songs to their many cover versions to find out which one has a shotgun. I'm your host, as always, The Snake, joined by my pretty co-host,
Alex Mildenberger.
Alex Mildenberger.
So kind.
So kind. I feel like I've maybe used pretty before, like it's come up, but
maybe.
I don't know what else to use
or
for
like
this
pretty something.
Pretty fly for a white guy, implied.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Granted.
But, yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
How you been? What's new? What's cracking?
Oh, not a whole lot new since the last time we spoke, I'll be honest with you. That's just
Crazy.
how it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes not a lot
sometimes there's
changes.
Sometimes there's a little. I'm still cat sitting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told people that. I think sometimes I forget what
I don't
told
think it
you
came
and what I
up.
told the people.
Yeah, I
No.
think that was a personal conversation.
Sitting on some cats here.
Okay.
Holding them down, making sure they don't go anywhere. Worst in the summertime, I used to foster cats. And I remember we had, I think it was 2022, we got a senior cat with us, and we had the phenomenon of a heat dome come over Vancouver.
Yeah, the dome.
The dome. Did you guys get the dome in Calgary?
I don't remember. We can get pretty hot though.
Yeah, but it was wild because it was just stupid hot in the day, and then also it didn't cool down at night.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It was like apocalyptic, man. It was terrible, and we got this old ass cat, and we don't have air conditioning in here, so we're just like running our like microwave hood fan and the bathroom fan, and curtains closed, and like getting like we got little ice packs in the fridge to just like rub the cat down with.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, it's like it worked. That cat lived. He's living a great life somewhere else now.
Yeah, damn. That's rough though.
Yeah, and so it's hot again, and one of the cats just loves to hide under the bed, which is like gotta be a fucking hot box.
Gotta be. I mean, getting low might not be so bad, but yeah, it would.
Yeah. But yeah, just like a lack of air moving, it's gotta burn them up. So I worry about that, but otherwise it's going well. That's what's new with me. What is new-ish with me, and kind of inspired this theme month overall, was discovering that this Breeders song, Drivin' on 9, is actually an Ed's Redeeming Qualities song.
Yeah, is itself a cover. It's always fun to learn that a song we know is actually a cover.
Yeah, And I've loved this song ever since you exposed me to the Breeders and their album. Like, this was
Sure.
the song that stood out to me on the album, was Drivin' on 9.
Yeah, and I didn't listen to it a ton, but I do remember one time you sent me a message fairly late at night that just said something to the effect of Driving on 9, but instead it's taking a pee.
Taking a pee.
And that's kind of the first time I remember thinking about this song.
Yeah, that sounds like something I might have said back in the day.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Yeah, I love that. That's good job, me.
Way to go.
And, you know, not just me, co-written by Liquor. It's
Of course.
credit where credit's due.
Of course.
Alex,
So,
the Breeders. Ed's redeeming qualities.
Never heard of Ed's redeeming qualities.
No,
Before-
I had heard of them just
before
this
this.
week, basically, or like when I
yeah.
found out that they had made this song.
And the Breeders, only know the Breeders because of Pixies.
Pixies. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like pretty solid. Got some solid songs, of course. Obviously, like you hear that bass line of Cannonball.
Oh, yeah.
and you're good to go.
That is, I
I don't
think,
know
their
much else.
breakout hit from this album is Cannonball.
The album, of course, Last Splash.
Mhm.
I couldn't remember if you said that or not.
I did.
You
but
usually
it's
do, and then I
good to
say
remind.
I don't remember.
It's fine.
Yeah, interesting group. Yeah, because it's Kim Deal of Pixies, as you mentioned, and then like her sister, I think, and then some other people.
Yeah, her twin sister?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think. And her twin sister Kelly. Kim and Kelly Deal.
There you go. Yeah.
Because after this album, they both take turns like going to rehab for drug use.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
That's
Most
of what I know about them.
That's most of what I know. But Kim Deal did a show. Have you seen what is his name? The John Mulaney. Have you seen his like night show, his talk show on
No, I
Netflix?
didn't watch it. I never watched it.
You should. It's pretty good. I think it has some timeless qualities to it. But Kim Deal performed live on there with Kim Gordon of Sonic Youth.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool, like two 90s Kims of the alt rock scene together.
Two iconic Kims.
Icons, two iconic Kims. If they had Kim Jong Il there, it would have been a fucking full house, you know? all the major Kims.
Just get as many Kims as you can. Kim Mitchell, not from the 90s.
The cast of Kim's Convenience.
Yeah. Some of the I don't know.
Another Kim.
Another Kim.
Imagine this, a Kim, but one that's like kind of funny to mention here.
Yeah. That one?
That would be pretty good. The Breeders. Ed redeeming qualities. Indie music, Alex.
It's
What's that
interesting
about,
that they say that like this is, well, I mean, like an origin point for this idea, because like we're so versed in this idea of like this is what indie is, to the point where it's like, what is indie? I mean, we talk about this sometimes, that it's like a genre unto itself, which is weird because like the name doesn't imply a particular sound or anything.
No, but people use it so often. Like my partner Greta works at, she runs the door at the Commodore Ballroom, one of the concert venues here in Vancouver, and people walk by and ask, like, "Oh, who's playing tonight?" So-and-so, what kind of music is that? And so many people on staff will be like, "Oh, it's kind of like an indie." Like, so indie has become, and it's such a broad net to cast, even in terms of describing music, but people seem to accept that it has some value as a word.
Yeah, because we've given it value, like we've given it a meaning, so it's useful, but it's also like an odd choice. But that's true of a lot of genre names for sure.
Yeah, and even like the last time we talked about an indie band, or the last one I remember of import, was the guys who did Earth Angel.
Right, very different.
The Penguins.
Yeah,
because they based on the Cool Cigarette mascot, I believe, or they pulled their name from. But yeah, the Penguins, who were an independent like doo-wop group, and then they have their own label. That hit comes through. Like, that was indie music.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's weird because, like, on the one hand, you have like the genre idea of genre as like a sound, and as we've discussed, a set of values, and that's part of that as well. But like also the idea of now this is technically like a production method, or like or a publishing method that has become a genre. I mean, it happens in video games as well. So.
The Wikipedia page, it's like, oh yeah, independent labels, and I was like, okay, that's not what I think of when I think of independent music. Even though that is really what it is you're publishing music on your own as an independent label. Because then it's like, yeah, indie bands like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin. It's like, is that indie? It's like at a certain point, it technically was.
Right. It's funny to think of it that way, though. This is like, yeah, they're like paying for their own studio time or whatever, and like that's how you do that.
Yeah, you brought up a great point though with video game styles, especially because nowadays we just chuck the game that kind of invented the genre and like on the end.
Yeah, quite a bit.
So if instead of indie we had like Ed's Redeeming Quality like, or like ERQ like, or even if we called them ERQs or something, like that would be, I think, more informative of a sound than indie is conceptually.
Yeah, just be like, this makes me think of this other thing. Because it's always like, oh, it's kind of like this, kind of like this. That's usually how you talk about it.
That is usually how you talk about it. And like looking at the layout of this band, they were called like an alt folk group.
Right.
You had Danny Leone on vocals and ukulele, which I think ukulele is a very indie coded instrument. A very what's her face from New Girl, Zooey Deschanel.
Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah, very much her, and she has an indie duo.
Is she and him?
Yeah, is that
hers?
I think she and him is hers. I think.
Is that her? Yeah.
I think I could be wrong. And then of course you have the vocals and guitars from Don Leone.
Yeah.
Carrie Bradley on vocals, violin and guitar. Another like violin in a non country context, in a barely folk context is another like indie-ish feeling move. And so you get that, you get the production value here, that sort of lo-fi element, where they're also coming up at the same time as like Daniel Johnston, who we talked about 5 years ago.
Right.
Who would release his acoustic guitar tracks through working at McDonald's, just give people cassettes. So there is this like lo-fi, sort of naive or outsider music quality, a bit of twee in there with the ukulele that I think really defines the core of what becomes indie sound in the 21st century.
Yeah, and then I guess that turns into the like, oh, not only are you... Well, I mean, I guess the original was like, this is the sound we're doing. It's a bit different from what the labels want, so like we have to do it ourselves. Versus like now it's indie because it sounds, and then we want to be indie, so we're going to do something that sounds a bit different.
Yeah, and then at some point it's become indie is like soft rock, lo-fi style or something like that.
Yeah, and then that becomes popular, and it's like, wait a minute, it's being made by a major studio. Why are we calling it indie? Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, also that was a problem with the video games industry when Dave the Diver won Best Indie Game.
It's like, well, it is styled like that, but really, no?
Yeah, it's made by a large company. Video games and music, the same thing, folks.
Yeah.
Interesting enough. That's all to fill space because we have nothing real to say about Ed's Redeeming Qualities.
What was it like? I don't know anything about the group other than, like, I think the guy who sang this passed away, like, a year later.
Yeah, Dom Leone.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that.
I did mention that.
Man, I am not on the ball today. I'm also choking.
Listen, folks, Alex, you're trying to sell a chair. It's hot out there. You're choking. You're also in the back of your mind planning a wedding. And you didn't get the pita and hummus your body needs to survive and think properly.
Oh my gosh.
Off trail mix. Don't die on me.
I just got a little bit of trail mix stuck in my throat.
Rookie move, Alex. But let's talk.
Get it out. All right, here we go.
About the experience of coming to this Ed's Redeeming Quality song this week. What was it like to hear the original for you this week?
It's not like that different, but it's always fun to hear someone else singing it, and then obviously their version's a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
just
more
a touch.
As much as you can say like, oh, the Preachers are kind of doing a country thing, you know, or whatever, or folk, or however you want to describe it.
Yeah, however you want to label it.
You go back to this and you're like, okay, no, that's because that was how it was written. It has that sound to it. So that's always interesting. It's like a more sort of pure version of that sound versus theirs kind of like an adaptation into this slightly rockier context.
Yeah, it's like the difference is Jack Kerouac's On the Road, like the original scroll versus the edited version that's sold and stolen from stores. And that it's like the Breeders version is that like slightly polished, a little bit like dialed in, and the Ezra Demon quality, both in terms of instrumental production as well as the lyrics, especially, which we have one, we got Driving, and two, a sort of stream of consciousness effect that makes me think of On the Road.
Yeah, definitely.
So it is interesting to see that. Sometimes when we talk about ones like this, there's a sensation of demo to like hit song, which you could put that dynamic on the difference between Ed's Demon qualities and the Breeders, but there's almost an element of call and response because the Breeders do this gender swap that.
Sure. Yeah, it is a different perspective theoretically.
Yeah, and the songs can both coexist. There's a version you could do of this for some dog shit alt rock musical where there's two singers and we're getting both sets of lyrics as they're driving on fucking roads and they pass each other or something. So there's an interesting life between these two versions is what I'm getting at. And to just get into it, let's fucking talk about these lyrics.
Yeah,
in the
let's do it.
Demon Qualities version, which begins with a spoken. This is the amateur element that Kim Deal was talking about. Haha, that's the way I always play it.
Haha, oh yeah, that intro bit. That's fun, It's because he
love that.
Does he mess it up? And he's like, I always do that.
Yeah, that's probably exactly it.
And I will say, not to be too pro cop, but right at the start, he sounds a lot like Jim Street from the show SWAT.
Oh, you've been watching a lot of SWAT recently.
Well, less now, but.
Because you're running out of there. SWAT to watch.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it's a lot, you got to slow down a bit.
Yeah. It's too much, man. But there's a guy named Jim Street.
Yeah, Jim Street. He's the rookie.
And he sounds like the spoken voice, not the singing voice.
Like more like the first drive and the way he does that.
Oh, okay. He's got like that drawl and
just sometimes not really like a drawl, but like just the way it's like it's not just like the accent, but it's like the tone of the voice too.
Okay, little bit of that.
Sounds like the same guy does that one line, and then the rest of it doesn't sound as much.
Interesting.
It reminded me of that.
SWAT heads, shout out in the comments.
In the audience, yeah. In the audience. We'll play the horns from the SWAT intro for our break.
Yeah, there you go. I'm looking forward to that. So the verse opens, true Jim Street style, driving on 9. You could be a shadow 'neath the street light behind my home.
Yeah. I mean, you called it stream of consciousness already.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really cool. I don't know. It's a really cool setup on the song, I think. It's so like, this is nothing, right? Driving on 9, it's this highway. And then like, you should just be a shadow. Like, there's nothing else but here kind of thing. Like, it's very immediate. But like, he's thinking about other stuff.
We get the image of somebody who is unfocused. You could be a shadow beneath the streetlight. It's like, I am driving. I'm focused elsewhere. And what a wild thing that is like, you could be behind my home right now and it would be meaningless because I'm here on the road. And also there's this idea of them being a shadow in their mind because they are idly thinking about this person. It's great, like, illustrative verse.
Yeah. And it just it continues in that fashion.
Yeah, and sort of a coziness to that. Driving on 9, even the fact that we drop the G on driving, not only great for folk/country, but it's like casual. The drive on 9 is not a stressful experience. It's
to the point where like the narrator's able to just kind of idly think about things.
Yeah. And that driving on 9 will open up every verse because it's just like the road unchanging. This is the thing that's going on. Driving on 9, here's what's going through my brain now. Driving on 9. Here's a few more things.
Yeah, and like they're related, but it's just like thinking about stuff for the most part.
And we get such a great, like just errant thoughts, like this shadow streetlight, just like poetic imagery to like, hey, I gotta fucking find my exit. Maybe I've already passed it. Like, to the practical, to the like dramatic, the poetic. It's beautiful. I love that about this.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice.
It's very nice.
There's a lot of verses.
Yes, there is. Driving on 9, I sure miss you. Past the motel. Give a dog a bone.
Give a dog a bone. Yeah. So, again, now he's thinking about his partner.
Yes.
That becomes clearer later, but, misses someone. And then, then past the motel, presumably thinks about sex?
Maybe.
Give a dog a bone?
Give a dog a bone. That could be it. There's also, because later lines, we realize he's out of contact with this person. So there could be an element of throw me a bone to that line, like give me a line, but I'm not sure. There's also, I could also thought of it again as just it's like errant thoughts. He's like, hey, there's that motel. What about that old nursery rhyme? Like it could just be like a pure blender of thoughts, you know? But yeah, give a dog a bone at the motel if we are connecting those. That makes sense as like a sex thing. Maybe they had sex there once. Yeah,
or just like thinking of that idea of like, oh, it's a motel. That's where people have like dirty sex.
Dirty sex, yeah. Give a dog a bone.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of a funny line, but it seems kind of random otherwise.
Yeah, it does. And that is one of the ones we will see scrapped from the breeders, which is, I think, efficient.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
I think it's a sensible cut.
Don't need the line, but it kind of sets the scene in this one.
Yeah, it's a light hand of setting the scene. Driving on 9, looking for 138. Maybe I passed it. Go another mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of distracted while driving. He doesn't even know if he's missed his exit.
But also, like, he's not worried.
Yeah, he's like keep going.
Did I miss it? Keep going. We'll see. Then, like, you can see exit 139 or whatever.
Yeah, you see the next exit. You go, okay, I got to turn around, or I'm good to keep going. Driving on 9, you'll sure look pretty in Carson City, walking down the aisle.
Yeah. It's a wedding.
It's a wedding.
He's thinking about this other person's wedding. So, is he daydreaming about their wedding in the future? Or is he... you were talking about how they're estranged. I never really picked up on that.
Okay, well, it's because he asks about a person who sure looks like him later.
Okay.
And requests to send me a card.
How old is Cindy? She sure looks like me. Oh, yes. I see. Yeah. I missed that line. Okay.
And then I think in the next line, it seems to me I'm guessing that he is driving to Carson City, which I believe is on the Highway 9.
Okay.
But it's possible he's not. But he says, you'll sure look pretty in Carson City walking down the aisle. Suggesting that there is a wedding going on. To me, it was not a hypothetical wedding with him in the future. It was the wedding they are having that is happening in Carson City.
Right.
And because then we come into the next verse, Driving on 9, will you wear white? I sure hope not, but you might just despite. Despite whom? I would assume our narrator.
Whom I would assume. Continuing with the internal rhyme. Was a good one. Right, and then also like the implication of like the white is supposed to represent purity, and if he's saying like you shouldn't be wearing the white, he's implying not necessarily infidelity, but he's like I guess just that they're like not a virgin, which is obviously very common.
Yeah, are you pretending to be pure wearing white? There's also a sign of like white being a real commitment. He's maybe saying like, is this like a legit wedding?
Oh, he's questioning it.
Like he wants it to maybe have a little, he's like, well, if she's not wearing white, maybe there's a little room for me to wiggle back in here.
Yeah, potentially. He's questioning it. Because it could be that, like, why is he going to Carson City to...
Yeah, and he must be going to Carson City because then the next verse is the question of, is he going to get murdered there?
Oh, yeah. Does your daddy have a shotgun? See, I didn't pick up on the later stuff. It did just seem like idly dreaming about his own future wedding to this person and still just worried about... Because it's just like a stereotype about, like, fathers being violent and protective of their daughters.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, is he like thinking about crashing this wedding and he's worried that the father will attack him with a shotgun?
Yeah, because it seems like he's driving out here and he's like, oh, what's going to happen at the wedding? You going to wear white? That's going to really bum me out if you do. Is your dad armed? And it's such a classic thing for fathers to threaten their daughter's boyfriends, that it's like there's maybe an implication that there was some threat, not a shotgun, because as he said, he'd never need one. But he's like, is he gonna? And it implies some bad blood in this relationship, that he's there's a chance I show up and like there's gonna be trouble.
It's violent.
And then we whip right from that and be like, is your dad gonna kill me? To be like, yeah, there's pine trees.
Yeah, because he's just idly
looking at the pines. He's just thinking about the stuff on the road.
Give a dog a bone.
Give a dog a bone. It's brilliant. Driving on 9, looking out my windowsill, wondering if you took your pill. Wondering if it's mine.
Yeah, see, now we're talking about pregnancy scares. Right?
You're right. That's the pill. Wondering if you took your pill.
Like that's
wondering if the child is mine.
And then like Cindy, is that a real person, or is that a thought of the future? I don't know. Is there a Cindy? Because like there's a wedding.
There's a wedding, and there must be a child.
There could be a child before the wedding, for sure.
This connects to the wondering if you took your pill, wondering if it's mine. Yeah. How old is Cindy? She looks like me. Send me a card.
Yeah. So
tell me about this child who could be my daughter.
Yeah. So that's, there you go.
Yeah, and then driving on 9, turn off your headlights. This is just like stage fright coming back home.
So he turns around.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know how I missed some of that stuff. Let me tell you, it feels very obvious now.
Yeah, it's laid out there pretty plain. I think there's a hypnotic nature even to reading these lines, where you can kind of just be like, yeah, it's all just loose thoughts on the road. But it does pretty expertly tell this story of a person driving to somewhere they maybe shouldn't go. And then, in this outro verse, like convincing themselves, maybe not.
Yeah, good thing to talk yourself out of. Definitely.
Yeah, or is he talking? Is turn off your headlights? That's the end of the drive. There's a lot to read into that, but I think a good read is just like, hey, I'm coming back home.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's also an idea that he has reached his destination, and he's getting stage fright, but he's returning home to this partner, which is maybe a little more absurd and twisted, given that the guy seems to be fairly grounded in his...
so he's referring to home as where this person is. You're not supposed to be there. He's like, I'm coming home, but he's not allowed. Yeah. And then he's turning off the headlights. Well, it says your headlights, but I don't know if that's that specific. Turning off the headlights so he's not noticed, and he feels nervous.
Could be.
Similar to stage fright. Yeah, that's another possibility right there.
Yeah, because he's going to show up. It's like stage fright. He's going to be seen.
Yeah.
And then I guess the question is, does he succumb to the strange... Whether he succumbs to the stage fright or not is maybe what paints the line coming back home. Because if he's like, okay, fuck, I can't do this. Turn around. This is like stage fright. See ya. Or if he's like, well, it's just stage fright. You just got to get up there and get in there.
Right. He's got to push through kind of thing. Or like he's a performer, so he's like, I've dealt with stage fright.
Yeah, you're like, I can handle this.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of ambiguous at this point.
Yeah. But there's the song. It's, one guy's idle passings on an old relationship and that person getting married, which... When people get married, people it's definitely time for self-reflection for a lot of people, especially if it's someone you used to be in a relationship with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thought or feeling.
It certainly is. And what does it all sound like?
What does it sound like?
Music.
Like music. It sounds like music. Yeah, I do like that. You already mentioned it. They kind of like mess up at the start, and then it's like a little laugh.
Always play it. Yeah. And then we get the classic Jim Street vocal first
intro.
line.
Yep. Getting right into the first verse. Of course, it's like primarily just doing verses. Because
very like
this calls it 2 verses,
style.
but like what I don't like. Man, it's just a bunch of stanzas that start with driving on 9.
Yeah, it's basically stanzas with a refrain. But with a refrain at the top instead of at the end.
Yeah, it's It's cool. You introduce it with what you're doing, which is driving on 9.
Driving on 9. Yeah, and a very like pretty basic driving rhythm with the guitar
strumming.
and ukulele. Yeah, some strumming.
Basically like really accentuates the down strums, but it's a pretty basic like strumming pattern.
Yeah.
I think you could describe it as chunky.
Yeah, there's some chunks on this.
Yeah. And is there a shaker? There's a shaker. Yeah.
Yes, there is a shaker in there as well.
But it's like doing like it's the same. We're just doing the like ba 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 ba.
Yeah, and we've got this sort of non-singer. You know, he's not a virtuoso or anything. He's a little nasally. He's a little almost monotone at times. Give a dog a bone. Driving on.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess there's like the sort of more like countryside to it. Like he has a bit of that twang in the voice, and he's got that like low cowboy thing. Not in the same way as the more polished versions, sure, but like it has a bit of that. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, he's not like a Hollywood cowboy. He's
exactly.
He's a different cowboy.
It's like a New England cowboy or something.
Yeah, a Boston cowboy.
But yeah, I like the tone of his voice. It sounds nice.
Yeah, and especially for this sort of stream of consciousness song, it really does well to deliver each line with sort of the same level of intensity and a bit of a detachment.
Mm-hmm.
It plays well. I was wrong about the uke being there at the start. It comes in around 35 seconds to get your ukulele.
Oh, yes. I thought it took a bit, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, that's the ukulele. See, I was not 100% sure because I saw they had a ukulele, but at first I thought maybe someone was strumming a violin because I know there's the violin, but then there's actually a violin as well.
Yeah, the violin does most of the interesting work on this song instrumentally.
Yeah, it's like it starts off as like a drone mostly on that second verse.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't stick around for very long. It's like there for like half a second.
Yeah, it like kind of like accents a bit, leaves. But we do get the violin solo, which is a big moment in this version. It's a big moment in the Breeders version as well, played by the same performer.
Right, same person. That's later. That's after, like, by my count, 6 verses.
Yes, that's about right.
Yeah. Other than that,
even around like 110, we get the violin playing and playing a little more actively.
Yeah, within like the 5th verse or so. That's when it starts to play the longer notes, and you actually like can tell there's a violin, even though
you really hear it
there a bit in the previous verse, but it's just kind of like ba 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 ba, doing a similar pattern to
it's blending
to
in a lot.
Yeah, so it blends in until you get like, oh, we're doing like a like violin with like long bows, you know, which is what the violin sounds like.
Yeah, and we've still got that indie element that they're going for of like unpolished, because of like it's not that the violin sounds bad, but it can sound a little coarse when it's the
right.
But it's a great sound, and it gives a little bit of that effect of like when your mind starts really going off in other directions and you're just like kind of getting lifted out of your basic reality.
Oh, and you start to float away.
Yeah, you're kind of getting caught up in your head. Like you're still driving, but then you have that moment where you pull back. You're like, oh, fuck. Like,
wait a minute.
Where the hell was I?
And then you can't get back there, and you don't even necessarily remember what you were thinking about.
Yeah, it's crazy how those thoughts can vanish in an instant. Yeah, daydreaming.
And you're like, it was about, I started, nope, nothing. And you just have to let it go. You just have to give it up.
Just got to keep moving.
But it was such a good thought.
Yeah. So yeah, we get that violin in. We do the violin solo. 240. There's like a real plucked element.
Yeah, that's later on. Oh, is that? Okay, yeah, and that's the other solo, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's another violin solo first,
right?
Or maybe that is the solo you're talking about, because there's an instrumental section before that.
Yeah, that's where we get that. The
violin. Yes.
Yeah.
And then like later on, you get a little more of that. And then you go into, the thing you're talking about. Just making sure I got the structure right.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
got
that
it right.
complicated, but there's a lot of verses to talk about.
It's, again, the looseness of it, and then it's like, what is the violin solo versus the violin playing a lot with the other instruments there?
Yeah. Yeah, so I do think it is. I was going between fingerpick guitar and ukulele, but I am leaning towards ukulele.
I am leaning there as well because if I'm thinking about the band composition, it seems like they've only got one guitar, and that one is doing the rhythm at that point. And yes,
Yeah.
they could multi-track it, but they're also an indie darling band, so maybe they don't do that.
There's a bit of a guitar sound to it. Nah, it's got to be. Anyway, it's fingerpicked.
It's right in the middle of that fucking zone.
Yeah.
I put mandolin down, so I was like, maybe it's a mandolin.
It could be, honestly.
But it doesn't seem like that's something they have, but maybe they do, because that's also another like indie darling instrument is the mandolin.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, they're all, yeah.
It's going to be replicated in the Breeders version because it's a great sounding little tiny solo. Or
It's
little
very
lick.
nice. It's a nice little riff,
solo.
right?
Yeah. And that leads us into a big violin solo.
Yeah, which is like kind of plays the verse melody. It's similar, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
And then it does other, just does other stuff, and then keeps going through the next verse. This is our final verse.
Yeah.
This is our highest level of energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the conclusion, or like, fuck, what's happened? He's coming back home. We get an element I really love on this, which is almost a shame they don't incorporate in others, is the whistling.
Oh, yes, the whistling. I do like
is
the whistling.
anything more driving in a car than whistling? Like, it's a
I don't
pretty
think
good
so.
element. It feels pretty good.
Yeah, it's really cool. I do like whistling in a song.
Yeah, me too.
Even though I now know how to whistle, it still feels a little mystical to me.
I know-ish how to whistle, which is why it's still mystical to me, because I can do like a...
Okay. That's something.
It's something, but it's...
That's more than last time we talked about whistling.
Oh, yeah. I can almost sometimes do like a simple, like 2 or 3 note, like song or something.
Okay.
Like I could try and do Smoke on the Water, but usually I end up flat on the 3rd note.
Okay. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, so I've just been kind of idle. I think I started learning it like a year or maybe 2 years ago now. It's not like I'm practicing all the time, but yeah, look at you go, Alex.
I also idly whistle a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good habit to get into.
It's a good habit to get into. I try not to do it too much when like Greta's home, because mine's more like grab attention whistle than it is do music whistle.
Oh, well, the other thing is like, I used to whistle differently, and it was like not the same kind of whistling. I obviously don't know what kind of whistling you're doing, but there's like different ways to whistle, and there's really only one that you can do it with a tune. Unfortunately. So again, I don't know, but I was whistling wrong. I thought I knew how to whistle when I was very young, but it was like, let's see if I can still do it.
I'm basically, you're doing what I'm doing, I think.
It's very airy, and I kind of like, my mouth is all open.
Your mouth is all open. I'm like tight pursed lips. I'm blowing it through my front 2 teeth.
Is your tongue up or is it down on the...
It's kind of mid.
Is the tip of your tongue touching your bottom teeth or your top teeth?
It is touching neither.
Or is it closer to the bottom teeth or the top?
Closer to the bottom.
Okay, then I think that's the correct way to do it with a melody. Anyway, my thing was like, I couldn't do melodies, and I was like, what's wrong? And then I realized I actually didn't know how to whistle properly, and then I learned that, and it took a while. Yeah, so that was just something I happened to know.
Okay,
and that's something I encountered.
I didn't know that was something you
whistling.
could go the wrong path down for that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just like different ways to whistle, and some ways it's easier to go like lower and stuff. So
yeah,
the other way is almost like I'd compare it to like singing falsetto, although harder to follow a tune. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you ask somebody to sing at their highest pitch, and then they do that, and then you ask them to pretend to sing like a very high-pitched singer, they'll be able to exceed what they thought was their highest pitch.
If they're imitating someone.
Yeah.
I do find that is the case. I find I can sing higher if I'm pretending to be Paul Simon.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to even be like a specific person. Apparently, even as loose as like the highest pitched singer you can imagine. is enough for people to overcome whatever this imagined barrier they gave themselves when given the same task, and they will sing higher.
Right. Yeah, it's very interesting. I guess that's one of the things you do when you like practice singing and like learn it, is learn all those techniques and then figure out how to make it sound like you singing.
Yeah. And apparently it works for a broad range of other things too, just like tasks where if you imagine the ideal form of that person, whether it's like the most charismatic person for an interview or like whatever.
Right, pretend to be someone else who's
pretend to be somebody else, but who's not like a real person, but just simply has this attribute of like most charismatic, highest singer, like biggest actor, like whatever. You will do it. Your brain will be like, yeah, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, that is very fascinating, because I also know, and I don't know if this was a joke, but I think I heard someone say this as a joke, where they were like talking about learning to sing opera, and they were like, if you want to learn to sing opera, just pretend to sing like an opera singer. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, that was something that would happen because I was watching a Jason Pargin video because he was talking about it in this little short, and then he brought up this Reddit comment thread that he discovered in. He's like, one person here said in his choir director told people to sing like an opera singer. And then immediately they were all bigger and like an opera singer despite having no training. So yeah, what a concept.
That's quite fascinating.
I brought that up now to mostly fill space on this episode.
Sure, yeah, do it. It's an interesting conversation. Is it relevant? Maybe not. But we could talk about the Breeders.
Let's talk about the Breeders in 1993.
You could be a shadow beneath the streetlight behind my home, driving on 9.
Like we've already kind of mentioned, we talked around it a bit. The alt rock band formed Pixies bassist Kim Deal, and her twin sister and some other people.
Kind of at the same time as the Pixies, but like the Pixies were kind of somewhat inactive. It sounds like.
Yeah, so 93, because I thought it was like Pixies go on hiatus. She starts up the Breeders. The Breeders was already around.
Right.
They had one album. Pixies go on hiatus. Breeders does their second album, which gets success.
Yeah, and there was a quote from Kurt Cobain, I think, where he said like he really likes Kim Deal as a songwriter.
Yeah,
he said like Pixies should have let her write more songs, basically. And I mean, Pixies had some power dynamic issues because Frank Black didn't really like that Kim Deal was also doing things that got popular,
right,
successful. So they definitely had some issues.
Yeah, they certainly did. And yeah, I think even to this day, Pixies has like reunited and toured, but without Kim Deal.
Yes, absolutely. She's like not in that band anymore.
Yeah, so there's still bad blood there. It's just too bad. She's a great bassist and a great musician. Let's talk about the lyrics that are in this version. We can do these quicker because they're largely the same. Very
similar, yes. A little different.
But she cuts and combines some things. So we get the shadow beneath the streetlight behind my home, first verse, great. We drop the give a dog a bone line, and we grab looking at the pines from the shooting your dad verse, or dad with a shotgun verse. We combine those. I sure miss you, pass a motel, looking at the pines.
Yeah.
Works. It gives that idea of looking out your window while driving and sort of just the basic landmarks you'll see.
Still, I have that same idle thing.
Yeah, so the idle notion is intact. We're just cleaning things up a bit. We don't have to question what give a dog a bone means. The highway exit is changed from 138 to 130. What else do we got? All sure look pretty, Carson City walking down the aisle.
And for some reason, it never registered to me that the wondering if I want you still line was not in the original.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting because then she also changes wondering if it's mine to what's mine. And bam, we got a whole new song here almost.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, it's kind of in conversation almost, like, which is also an interesting notion because if these two people did have a romantic history, one of the things that happens when you spend a lot of time with a person is you kind of both start to be like, you get these shared thoughts and behaviors, you know?
Yeah. You pick up each other's like attributes and thought patterns.
Yeah, you can finish each other's sentences.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, she's walking down the aisle and she thinks she'll look pretty. She wonders whether her father has a shotgun. which is an interesting line. It's got a very different tone in this one because it's like in the first one he's worried about his own safety, where in this one she's maybe worried about the safety of the narrator of the original song, or perhaps just more generally worried about what her father's up to.
Yeah. And this one, I mean, the story of the first one seems to be a relationship that's ended.
Mm-hmm.
This could be thinking about ending a relationship. And to me, that's kind of what the final verse sort of points towards that.
Okay. See, I was influenced by the original version, thinking that she is getting married, but thinking about her last relationship and wondering if she still has feelings for that person.
Could be. I guess the only thing, like, I'm working, like, because the looking out my windowsill, wondering if I want you still, wondering what's mine.
Right. I want you being the person she's going to marry.
Yeah, I guess so. So that's the new person. Then wondering what's mine. To me, that's sort of, again, something that happens when you're in a relationship for a long time, is it becomes very ambiguous. Ownership becomes very ambiguous. Because, everyone's paying for this and that.
What feelings are your own, and what possessions are your own?
Yeah, and like sometimes it's hard to interrogate your own feelings. Or I should maybe say it's easy to push off interrogating your own feelings.
Yeah.
And not really thinking about that.
Is she thinking of running? Is she worried her dad's gonna kill her?
Or maybe like, if she ends this relationship, am I gonna need to be protected?
Maybe.
It's just one of those things that like probably women think about more than we do. As
right, the idea of being unsafe in certain social circumstances.
Yeah, like I now need to consider my own safety here.
Yeah, because even the line of her looking pretty walking down the aisle is like, it makes sense from our narrator in the original. But for her to be her wedding thought is like, well, at least I'll look good.
Yeah,
does speak to a non-committal energy.
Yeah, it does seem like, well, reasons to, reasons not to, and then one of them is like, well, I will look pretty. Like,
running pros and cons in her head, and that she sure misses somebody. So, like, even that does bring up the idea of another person.
Yeah. So yeah, it does change the context a bit, maybe a little bit in conversation with the original as well.
You can easily pair it with it. You can have it on its own. It works both ways. And wondering if I want you still wonder what this idea of a reticent bride, or like a bride in question, like wondering what life has to bring, if they're making the right decision, if they should cut and run. All this idle on a drive it's fucking gold. It works.
Yeah.
But what does it sound like?
What does it sound like?
It sounds
a little different. I mean, it's still fairly country, but obviously they're more like on the rock side. But they never like go really heavy or anything on this. You know?
Yeah, by right of their higher budget, they tend to lean harder into the country and into the rock without being country rock necessarily.
Yeah, but it still has that like bum, ba-bum, ba-bow, and like softer like guitar. It does have a country sound for sure. And like the gallop on the bass.
And we make room for this little hook using that ukulele, guitar, mandolin riff we were talking about from the original, and making that something we return to every few phrases. Driving on 9. And this sort of sing-song quality that is present in that riff and in Kim Deal's vocals is part of what makes this version very enchanting.
It still has the hypnotic nature of it.
A little bit of like naivete or something in there as well. There's just like an extra little polish, little twist on this that
Kim
really
Deal's,
works.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, she's got a very interesting singing voice.
Yes,
like
idiosyncratic, we might call it.
Yeah, we might call it that. You know, it's airy, but I don't know. Like, I feel like her voice doesn't really sound the way she looks. I don't know.
Yeah, especially because she is this kind of like punky, like alt performer, musician.
Yeah.
And then her voice has this like unreal sweetness to it.
Yeah, and it's just like very soft in a lot of ways, and not always. Like
Yeah.
obviously she gets a little shoutier sometimes, but like it still has this like airiness to it that's like very interesting.
Yeah,
It's very
it is.
interesting.
It's interesting.
You might even call it idiosyncratic.
I might call it idiosyncratic. It's high quality, dude. Though
Yeah,
I love it. She
good
can
stuff.
sing great.
Really good stuff.
And yeah, it really brings to life this narrator character in this version.
Yeah, it's a good fit. It's a really
It's a
good
great
fit.
fit. Yeah.
What else happens in this? I mean, the violin is featured very prominently in this one,
Yes.
playing its sort of like hook. And then they do more of a hook, right? They do like driving on nine
As
the- as the guitar. And is there a ukulele on this one? I'm not sure.
I've got the personnel here. Let's see. Kim Deal, lead vocal. I got the personnel for the album, I think, because I don't think they had their. But let's see. There could be lap steel.
Yeah.
There could be mandolin. There could be vocals, lead vocals.
Could be
There
all
could
those
be
things.
drums, bass guitar, double bass, cello.
Anyway,
So
it
yeah.
could also like it's picked, right? Could be guitar. Could be the violin. Honestly,
Could be the violin, but yeah, it's definitely and like
Plucked violin.
mandolin is in here somewhere, so it could be that as well.
yes,
Like-
wouldn't be surprised. That sounds right.
But yeah, we've got
but yeah,
they
it's
bring in
insane.
these country elements, the bass line, which is a little bouncy, the even that like brushed or just kind of like played out chord they do at the beginning, driving on nine. They just kind of let everything ring out a little.
Yeah.
We're dabbing with
nice.
those elements without making it a full on country version. We're
yeah.
still holding on to this ineffable indie quality in some sense.
Yeah, and like cranking up the violin in a way that sounds. It's very solid.
Yeah, they let Carrie Bradley fucking cut loose, and it's
Yeah.
awesome.
They do. There's also a guitar solo.
Yes, there is. Tell me
or
everything
whatever's
about
picking.
it.
Um,
Yeah.
And then the violin also plays in there too. So it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. I fucking love this song. I really am charmed by this version. I'm trying to find some other moments that I can pick out.
Yeah. Trying to think. I don't know. I just think like they did a really good job, like adding a hook, making it maybe a little more accessible, and yeah, just like having the vibes, man. It's the vibes.
Yeah, the vibes, because you're right, because there is like
They're good.
where it's fuller instrumentation, but we still maintain that kind of bare bones presence of the original.
Yeah.
The drums and the bass are holding up like a very light country style rhythm. And then yeah, we're overlaying that with that violin. A violin takes you everywhere. And Kim Deal's vocals. It's a fucking hit, man. This thing's very good.
Yeah, it's a hit, baby.
And it's a hit, baby. You got a hit on your hands. And of course features a music video
Yeah, there's a music video.
promoting the use of cigarettes.
Cigarettes, so many cigarettes. Yeah,
So many cigarettes.
it's like a road trip video.
Yeah, we've been doing so many car
Yeah,
songs.
what the car song as a road trip video?
Road trip. It's basically the road trip video that is often done even by modern sort of independent bands these
Yeah.
days, where it's concert footage and goofing around on the road footage and a lot of like travel shots, like literal traveling.
Yeah, traveling. Pretty. Yeah. Are there anything? Let's see. I'm just looking at my notes here. Grainy footage of the band driving around, swinging a guitar around, lots of shots of the road,
Yeah.
driving and stuff. They are performing as well. Definitely seems to be tour footage, sort of tour video log. At one point, there's feet pics. I don't have a timestamp.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
Um,
timestamp that for later use. Oh, 116. I had to
Oh,
look.
thank you.
It starts at 109.
109. What is the? Yep, that's a foot.
And then they mirror the foot structure with tangerines
yeah.
or mandarin oranges.
So that's cool. That's a fun little visual thing. Is it
Yeah.
significant? Well, I don't know. It's
I don't know, but we're playing. We've got music video to fill and we got shots to fill it with.
But yeah, it's their like tour across the USA. It seems. I don't know exactly where they went, but you see like different like they're touring and then they go to like an outdoor location. So there's like some canyon or rock formation.
Yeah,
Or,
you'll
like,
see signs
lake.
of like like from downtown areas, be like Plaza
Yeah.
Motel, and you're like, okay, yeah.
Okay, so they're at this hotel or this hotel, and then like there's cars and there's power lines. At one point, there's a shoreline. They chase a dog at one point.
To give them a bone.
One time, they're just like talking in the back of a car. Yeah, to
For a
give them a bone.
very long time.
For a
145 to, let me see where this fucking goes to, like about 220.
Yeah, goes for a while. What else is here? Somersault.
Somersault, summer pepper.
I can't remember where. Someone does a somersault. It seems that's what I wrote.
Okay,
and
I
then
believe that.
that's before the talking in the car because I stopped taking notes when they were talking in the car.
Yeah, because you're like, well, that's the video's done.
There it is. They're just talking in the car for a while. Yeah,
But
there's a
yeah,
somersault.
pretty classic. It's neat that this even has a music video.
Yeah, I mean it's also quite appropriate for the song.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
as road stuff. But what would be even more appropriate for this song is for it to have maybe 4 other cover versions, which we'll talk about after this short break.
Ba, 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 na, ba, 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 na. Ba, 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 na.
Incredible. That was the SWAT horns?
Well, not exactly. You know,
It
from
sounded more
memory.
like Brooklyn Nine-Nine
It's
to
not
me.
so different.
That's not so different?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's they are similar. I may have gone a little more Brooklyn Nine-Nine though.
Yeah, it felt pretty B99 to me.
Yeah.
But we got to be talking about the year 2009 for covers of Ed's Redeeming Qualities, Driving on 9 with the Mayhems.
Driving on 9, you could be a shadow beneath the street lamp behind my home.
The Mayhems, a band from Tallahassee, Florida, as far as I can tell. I can only find them on Rate Your Music. This says they're from Tallahassee and that their genre is Americana.
Yes, and they're named after the southern fruit, the mayhaw.
Ah, yes, the mayhaw. A fruit I don't think I've ever had.
Yeah.
But it was tough to find them. I would search the mayhaws and I'd be like, you mean the mayhaw-hoons?
Yeah, they had other
Jayhawks?
ones.
Like, no, what?
There was some New Orleans honky-tonk country band that kept on trying to convince me was what I was looking
Yeah.
for.
I don't know, man. But
But here they are. Acoustic Stomp, according to one member of the
Acoustic
band.
Stomp. Okay.
I don't know where I got that quote now.
Yeah, I didn't see that. But you know, I didn't look in a lot of places.
They looked in all the wrong places.
Looked in all the wrong places. Yeah. So this is fairly acoustic. This is more like the full-bodied acoustic guitar strumming thing with finger picking.
With fingerpicking. This is obviously Breeders inspired.
Yeah, they use their lyrics.
Their lyrics. It's a female singer. And yeah, it's kind of like we take out a little bit of the rock, a little bit of the bigness of the Breeders version, and just go
Yeah.
full like folk to country interpretation.
Yeah, definitely. And you get that like fast mandolin strumming. I think mandolin. And then
Yeah, I wrote
Rhythm
mandolin, so I'll
guitar.
trust it. Yeah, that's a classic mandolin move. What else are you
Yeah.
gonna do that on?
yeah, what else?
And like
That's
I
all they
see the appeal of this song coming out, and if you're like a folk band, country band, alt band, like I can see you want to be like, oh yeah, I would love to do that because there is so much room to do
Right.
your little mandolin flourishes, your violin solos, your this and that. It's
There's a lot
got
of
a real appealing, structure. But yeah, we open with like 30 seconds of instrumentals because that's what these guys like to do is fiddle and diddle, as it were.
They fiddle, they diddle. And they sound very, I mean, it's not quite bluegrass, but there's like the oompa bass line. It's very steady on the drums. You can hear that like nice,
Yeah, real
On
like
the
tight
snare.
snare drumming.
very like, snare forward.
We bring in harmonies on the vocals for lines like I Sure Miss You. It really is like a country band.
Yeah, there's occasionally a harmony singer, but it seems like they cut out on the title lines.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a bit of like an unpolished feeling around them. Maybe it's just like a close micness. I said unpolished, but I don't think that's the right word. Maybe
They
it's
feel
just welcoming.
small in some sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
welcoming. There is, a layer of
Small, I think,
perhaps
is better.
intimacy that could be misconstrued as
Yes.
a lack of polish.
But no, it is definitely like the recording itself is fairly polished.
yeah.
Other than that, there is a guitar solo. They do like the fast single string picking. That might be mandolin now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah, coming into it, I think that is mandolin.
Yeah.
I'm not the mandolin expert. It's usually you who's able to pick these out.
Yeah. I realized I wrote these notes like a while ago and haven't double checked them. So,
Hey, it happens.
you know.
Yeah, it's like mandolin to then the violin comes in. It's a
Mhm.
real in song instrumentally, this
Yeah.
version.
They both kind of do a solo.
Yeah. And then they break into this sort of where I guess their acoustic stomp element is coming in, if I was to attribute that, around 250. We get sort of like an oomph in the rhythm. A dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. Like gets kind of reinforced by the guitar.
Yeah. And like the bass there too, it's boom, boom, doom, 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 doom.
Yep. That's going on there. That's a cool bit just for that solo. And it mostly goes away by the time we get to another verse. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
They drop it pretty quick.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good quality cover. Some nice finger picking, some nice violin and stuff.
Yeah, it's got a nice, charming feel to it. We're still maintaining that softness, which I think is an important quality of this version of this song, rather.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's really good. But you know who doesn't do that softness is our next act, I believe, Retroverb in 2021.
I sure miss you. Past the motel, looking at the pine, driving on now.
Retroverb, yes. So they, as far as I can tell, have not updated their Facebook page since 2022. Although their Facebook page, their Spotify description also says they show no signs of stopping, which I don't know about that anymore.
Never write some shit like that in your fucking
yeah.
bio.
But they do seem to be from South California. SoCal.
Formed by high school friends was about all I was able to get
Yeah.
on them. They love 90s and zeros rock, aughts rock.
90s and aughts.
90s and aughts. This is the version that would play at as the ending credits of like a coming of age movie as we get the epilogues for each character that was in it.
Right, yes,
That's
that
my
does
take
make
on
sense.
this.
It's got like, especially at the beginning, it's really got that sparseness to it, where they just do this like wavery guitar playing along with the first verse being sung.
Yeah.
And he's
Almost
very
surf rock in that tone and approach.
and then just that part, it's just that for that first bit, and then they don't, and later on they just like break out and scream.
Yeah, they do a real
It's like
uplift
shouting.
as we come in. Yeah.
And like a drum roll, like
Yeah. And yeah, everybody comes in.
No.
Nine. It's just like this punk rock kind of choral effect.
Yeah.
It's a song that by hearing it, it's maybe not the best version of the song, but it sounds like a version of the song that is made to be like, hey, how awesome is it to listen to the original song, right?
Right.
It's like a celebration of how good the song is.
Yeah, in like a pretty different context.
Yeah. Because, yeah, there's such a big uplift. 20 seconds in and we're fucking foot on the gas for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they're driving a lot faster on 9.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like the guitar's rising up, the drum is rolling, and then boom, we hit the verse as a sort of like plug and chug punk rock.
Yeah. And then there's some other stuff like, well, sorry, I'm scattered right now. The drums
No
go,
worries.
yeah, like the drums really start, the steady rhythm and stuff. And then yeah, it's all like guitar doing the riffs, and yeah, it's chugging over the singing. And then there's like an engine growl sound.
Yeah, we get that engine growl a couple of times. I noted it at like 129. We also get like they do the hook, the Breeder's hook, and the Breeder's lyrics. They don't change any gender or anything here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that hook, they do like the most triumphant version of that that little ukulele or mandolin riff. Like, yeah!
Is that like 139 or so? Because I know that's like they do the like. I really like the guitar tone there.
Yeah, my
Yes.
first note for it is 1 minute
the
in,
one.
but it must be at 139 too.
Well, yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I have
same
noted
one, yeah.
there. Yeah. Sounds very nice. I like that guitar. And then, yeah, it's pretty cool. The vocals are quite out of tune.
Yeah.
And quite shouty. Not that that's so unusual. It's just like a more kind of, I guess, aggressive sounding version. They don't do the laid back thing, but like for this kind of like more punky version, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a weirdly like celebratory version. It has like maybe a bit of that bittersweet, that melancholy. Like I said, if you use it as the ending
true.
credits for a film, it'd be one where like they got through it and they learned a lot about friendship in each other, but it was a high cost or something, you know?
It's a little more triumphant.
Yeah. And like the guitar solo at 150 too is like shredding and high.
The
Like,
guitar solo.
the energy on this one is wild, and it shouldn't work, but I did come away really liking this version.
It was pretty enjoyable. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Good stuff. Let's move on to She and Them, or Loro, in 2022.
Driving all night, I sure miss you. By some motel, looking in the blinds.
Yeah. Not She and Him.
No, different band.
She and Them, which is, as far as I can tell, a Spanish group, but their name is in Italian.
Yeah, weirdly enough. Yeah, they're from Compostela in Spain.
Yeah.
Santiago de Compostela in Spain.
Yeah, and they haven't updated their Facebook page since 2023.
Uh-oh.
So that's something.
And they also said they show no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, but in Spanish and Italian.
In Italian.
What's this one like?
This one's super gentle, super simple. We've got our lady singing with some gentle guitar behind her. She's maybe a little closer to the Breeders in terms of like trying to capture Kim Deal's like sweetness, that softness, that
breathiness.
that idiosyncratic quality.
Idiosyncratic quality. Yeah, it's more like lighthearted pop. That's what I thought of this one. You know?
I'd say
It's
that's a
got
good
that
read.
gentle thing again, with a slightly different attitude of just like lightheartedness. And the guitar is somewhat jaunty, like it's picking away, you know? Sometimes
yeah.
it's doubled, and it almost has a bit of a hot club jazz sound.
Of course.
So when it's like the softer playing. So it's not really jazzy, but like some of it sounds a bit jazz adjacent.
And for people at home, I believe hot club jazz is the only acceptable term for jazz manouche.
Yeah.
Or gypsy jazz.
Exactly.
Which is jazz, is jazz-ish. I find it's more defined by its sort of acoustic elements, and sort of it's like jazz run through an acoustic folk filter almost.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And so that's, you do definitely get elements of that here. And it's sort of, like you said, jaunty. Jaunty's a good word for it.
It's jaunty.
There's like, and you hear that in the rhythm here, a bit of oompa. So it's like jazz with a bit of acoustic, a bit of folk, and maybe a bit of like polka elements here and there.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Just because of the, like, I guess the rhythm? What makes it
that oompa?
Ah, yes.
Would be as a polka element. I know it's in other things, but I always think of polka when I hear it.
Right. Just a little bit. So yeah, it's nice. You know? Sounds nice. The voice is nice.
And the non-English first language singers, I think, adds to the hot club jazz quality.
True. So, yeah, pretty decent overall.
Yeah, we got those backing dudes doing the doo-doo-doos.
We
kind
do.
of deep on the hook.
Which is yeah.
Again, playing to your sort of like lighthearted quality you were talking about. And whenever we talk about a hot club jazz piece, which I'm basically just considering that now, there is always this like live setting feel to it. It feels like you're supposed to be in a sort of small space. Maybe it's a town square, maybe it's a cafe.
Right, could be outside. And you're just listening to like probably people jamming out a little tune.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got some good tones on it. It's nice, simple, breezy. What's not to love?
What is not to love? Nothing. Let me
Nothing.
tell you.
But we got to move on. We got to move the fuck forward here because we're already at an hour and 8 minutes.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
too long, baby.
What? We got to do our last cover.
Sourpuss
Sourpuss,
in
the
2023.
liquor.
Driving on 9, you could be a shadow beneath the street light behind my home. Driving on 9.
The liqueur, as it were. Nothing. I don't know who the fuck this is.
No, they have 3 subscribers on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the video, which is not a video, it's just an image with the song of this, has 1 thumbs up. I could thumbs up it. Could be the
Hey,
second
give it a
thumbs up.
thumb. That's us doing good work.
Yeah.
Let it never be said Cover Me is not a charitable organization.
Let me thumbs that up. There we go.
Thumb it. This version, kind of the lowest of 5 of all the ones we've talked about.
Definitely. Yeah. These guys seem to be from Australia, but not the
Okay.
same Australian girl band, punk rock girl band from the 90s.
So 2 separate entities from Australia came up with the name Sourpuss at different times.
Yeah, or this is another group called Sourpuss, and because they share a name with a girl band, punk rock girl band from the 90s, they were just like by chance people from Australia decided to listen to them. That's another possibility. And then we're like, yeah, this is fine. And stuck around. So I don't know much about them otherwise, though.
Yeah. I have 3 notes for this version. I'll read them now.
Please do.
We got some ambient noise,
We do.
a bit of guitar,
We do.
and a bit of girl.
A bit of girl,
Oh.
yeah. That's kind of what happens, right? Like it's guitar strumming. It's the very like simple acoustic version, right?
Yeah.
And then she sings. It's got that, you said, it's the lowest of 5s. It's guitar and vocals. Sometimes it picks for the riff and the hook part.
Yeah, and she says
yeah.
fuck at one
She
point.
says fuck at 2:15.
There it is.
It also kind of sounds like Puck, but
Calling out her favorite Shakespeare character.
Shakespeare character. Yeah. I don't know. Well, like, you know, with like performances, sometimes they say like don't actually curse, like say pineapple or something. So
Okay,
maybe
yeah. And we're
something like that.
2023. We're maybe trying to be TikTok stars. I
So
don't know.
Yeah. Or just like so you don't curse on stage.
Yeah. Okay.
But she probably says fuck.
She says fuck. She's cool as hell. She's got a sour puss. She says fuck.
Yeah. Very cool. But yeah, it's a very simple version.
It's very
There's
simple.
not much
It's
else to say.
it's totally in the realm of covers you would get of Ed's redeeming qualities, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it makes sense. There's nothing really wrong with it. Even just having a single person on guitar doing it and doing all the little parts themselves on the guitar, that works. We get some of the elements that make the original song good. It's just it's maybe a little underwhelming at the end of this playlist.
Right after everything else.
Yeah, after all we've been through. But that's it. That's all the versions this week. It's very few covers of this song this week, but deal with it, folks. Listen to more episodes in our back catalog if you're craving more of us.
Yeah. There's lots
But-
of them.
Tons. Some would argue too many.
I doubt anyone's heard all of them.
I
maybe.
strongly doubt that. If you've listened to every episode of Cover Me, good for you.
Yeah.
You're one of the real ones. But
There are no real ones.
there are no real ones, I imagine. But there are some real verdicts we got to get into, of which there are 3 categories today. The worst version, the best version, and the version that's just for fucking zoning out, dude.
Yeah.
Alex, what's the worst version of
What's
this?
the worst version of this? Well, I didn't think any of them were like bad or anything.
No, it's honestly pretty decent showing this week.
Yeah. It's probably Sourpuss. Again, not a bad version. Didn't resonate with me all that much. They'd still do
No.
a decent job.
It's totally passable.
Yeah.
It's just like not as interesting as any other one this week, unfortunately. But I think a totally acceptable version of Driving on 9. So Sourpuss, you joined the honorable crowd of people who got worst cover just by right of everything else being pretty good.
Yeah. Even though your cover's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. So thank you for coming. Thank you for your spot on the worst list. Alex, who's the best this week?
Who's the best this week? Well, I mean, the Breeders cover is the best cover.
It's untouchable. It's so fucking good.
What can I say? They've got the tone. They've got everything. They've got the sound. They've got the atmosphere.
They got the atmosphere. They've got the editing of the lyrics to just kind of like cut some fat off and give us a really a nice twist on the original almost. We get a little shifting of the characters.
Yeah.
And everything. We still get some of the good lines. Does Daddy Have a Shotgun is a great line in both versions of the original and the Breeders version.
Yeah, even though it's a different context.
Yeah. And they do a great job in the Breeders of picking and choosing to make a different version of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good shit. Top to bottom. But yeah, the Breeders, best version. Alex?
Yeah.
You're zoning out on the highway, at the office, wherever it may be. What's the best zone out track?
What's the best zone out track? Retroverb might bring me back. Not that that's a problem, but it's just the one that's not like laid back. Still probably the Breeders, honestly. But you know what? I'm just gonna say the original.
Hey, there you go.
You know, I'd zone out to that.
Sure.
You know? It's also a good one to zone out to. The other ones, all the soft ones are good to zone out to.
Pretty much. I'm going to take Retroverb though. I think you can zone out to a high energy song.
Yeah.
Because it's going to give me so much juice. I'm just going to remember all the good times with all my friends, and that's me out the mental door, out the mental window. I'll be thinking of all the shit we did and be like, I'm like, yeah, fuck, that is good. And then the song will end. I'll be like, oh shit, I'm still driving, and life will go on.
Yeah. And so it does.
So it does. Life goes on.
Life goes on. Long after the thrill of living is gone.
Is gone.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, folks. Oh, yeah. But that does it for our main segment. Does it for our final verdicts. If you've got a different opinion, similar opinion, want to talk to us about a version we didn't talk about, hit us up on the app Blue Sky, at Snakey Me, at Some Alex Wise Guy, hashtag CoverMePod. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, suggestions for future episodes. You can also email those to us, covermepod@gmail.com. Talk to us there. Be sure to rate and review us. We are on every single app. Pick an app. We're on it. Apple Podcasts, Podurama, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Spotify. We're everywhere, dude. Everywhere podcasts are sold. Tell your friends, family, neighbors, and loved ones about us. What you can really do this week to get the word out there is if you're rich, you can buy a highway billboard. Buy the advertising space. Buy or adopt a highway. Clean it up. That's good, Alex. Adopt a highway.
Yeah.
And then put Cover Me Podcast as the name of who adopted the highway. Don't get us involved in any of the cleaning. You have to do that. But you could adopt the highway. Brilliant. Yeah, forget my other thing about billboards. Adopt a highway. That's what you can do this week. That does it for today's episode of Cover Me. And as we always say on Cover Me, driving on 9, looking for a new Cover Me.